This is definitely the happiest heroine. Also the worst heroine. As a robot, she found true love at the end of her life. But she had to let her end herself. What exactly happened during this period? In the future world of rapid technological development,
Artificial intelligence robot.
it has long been a part of daily life. The male protagonist's name is Xiaoxi. Due to the failure of the college entrance examination, Ollie arranged for him an intelligent machine company. These robots, possessing human-like emotions and memories. But the lifespan is only 9 years. Once this deadline is exceeded, the robot's personality and memory will gradually be damaged. Therefore, the company should dispatch personnel on schedule to recycle these robots and empty their memories. This task, usually by a human, complete with a robot partner, to meet the communication needs of both parties. Xiaoxi's partner is a robot named Ella. The two first went to observe the work of their colleague Xiaoman. They recycled a robot belonging to an elderly couple, recycling a robot that played their son. And then you have to do it in front of the bearer. Memorize the robot. After putting a ring on him, even after the recycling is completed, watching the son like robot being sent away. Both elderly couples endured their grief. Although this is only part of the job, Xiaoxi can't help but feel heavy in his heart. Then it was finally time for Stoudemire to practice. The robot being recycled this time is named Nina. The owner is an old woman, but the old woman didn't want Nina to be taken away. No matter how much Ella and Stacy please, they all look vicious. And in the face of the old woman's rejection, Ella's way of coping seems clumsy. Only again and again. Come to visit with tea and snacks. But as soon as he was rejected, will not know. So doesn't look like a veteran of contractions at all. After many rejections, Ella suddenly ran towards the fence, decided to break into the old woman's house. Little Four wanted to stop Ella, but it's too late. Ella still fell into the yard. This scene happened to be discovered by Nina and the old woman. The old woman was about to yell. Fortunately, Nina persuaded the old woman. Leave Ella behind. Wash off the sludge. Due to Nina's request, the old woman had to agree. And Sydney walks into the room. Advise the old woman to agree to the recycling agreement. It means that the memory is only emptied once.
After deleting all memories,
the body can still use it. This sentence completely angered the old woman, because Nina is for her more than just a robot, but her only family. But just then, the old woman heard the conversation between Nina and Ella. Nina knew she was about to be recycled, but she wasn't scared. She told Ella, "The time I spent with my grandmother was very happy, but I'm also afraid that if I break, will cause more pain to grandma." So Nina decided to wait until everything was okay. Choose to say goodbye with a smile. And Ina's maturity and thoughtfulness deeply touched the old woman's heart. Although her heart was cut, but in the end, I still respected Ina's choice. Decided to let her leave with dignity. Before parting, Nina still has a lot to say to her grandmother. And then she started crying. She can't bear to leave either. I don't agree. Oops, don't call it anymore. Hello. After hearing about Ella's inferno, this recycling is finally over. The old woman also expressed her gratitude to them. After a difficult task, CI and Ella have been assigned a new task. However, this mission still did not go well. Ella's performance has continued to fail. Make them fail again.
Xiaoxi Hui.
After arriving at the company, he was severely reprimanded by his boss. And Ella blamed herself for her mistakes. After returning to the company, immediately into the training of the robot, trying to improve their business. Xiaoxi saw Ella working so hard. I tried to comfort him that it might be a blank period. That's why it didn't work. Ella justifies his mistake.
All in business.
No warm-up exercise will fail. This straight man speaks. Angry Ella said if he really couldn't improve, you can also consider breaking up the combination. Xiaoxi finished the tea in his hand after listening, trying to comfort and enlighten Ella. He understands his pressure. I hope he doesn't blame himself too much. These words, it gave Ella some encouragement and comfort. However, later in the small talk with the seniors, Xiaoxi was surprised to learn an intelligent machine like Ella, there's no such thing as a white space, because these robots don't have 10,000 function. In other words, no matter how hard Ella trains, won't improve his performance. Xiaoxi recalls talking when Ella left. I felt a sense of powerlessness. Speaking of seniors here, I also noticed that Xiaoxi looked confused, did not tell the cruel truth. The next day, Xiaoxi took Ella to the repair shop again. This time he communicates, finally managed to take away the robot that repairs the car. The boss is also pleased with this. It's just that Xiaoxi didn't realize it. Ella's data plummets down on the computer. It means that as a robot he, soon to be like all robots that are recycled. It's time to take back the money. In order to allow Ella to better cooperate with Xiaoxi's work, the company also requires 2 people to live together. When entering a new place, Xiaoxi secretly sighed in his heart. However, Ella seemed very indifferent. I took it off, the clothes on his body, then went straight to the special chair. Hug your legs and don't move. No matter how little force strikes up a conversation. Ella also ignored it. Facing Ella's indifferent attitude, Xiaoxi is a little disappointed, but still try to get close to him. At the suggestion of colleagues, he shows masculinity. Show off your cooking skills. Be a gentleman with every detail. Get down on one knee and send flowers. Even in women's clothes. Pose the pose of the 2nd grade to close the relationship. But all failed without exception. He was also regarded as a pervert by the colleague who saw this scene. This is all seen by the boss, as Ella's former partner. And he had a suggestion for Stevens, looking for an excuse to ask Ella out for a walk, then give her a gift. So they went to the mall together. Xiaoxi uses the excuse of buying clothes for a friend, trying to give Ella a suit. As a result, the clothes were damaged. In desperation, they came to an herb shop. This time, Xiaoxi finally succeeded in getting Ella to help him choose a gift. After the 2 went out, they happened to pass by the amusement park again. Xiaoxi suggested going to the amusement park to play, but Ella said the gifts were all bought. Why are you still here? Stacy panicked. I had to confess that the person I wanted to give the gift to was him. It was meant to be a souvenir of their partnership. But these words made Ella's face change. Then he turned and left. Only Xiaoxi was left in a daze. After returning to the dormitory, Xiaoxi took the initiative to apologize to Ella and shoved him a trinket. This time Ella didn't refuse. He accepted Xiaoxi's wishes, but dare not express frankly at all, because he has seen his own end. And the next morning, Ella is just a simple hello. Let Xiaoxi get excited. The noise made Xiaoman next door unhappy. Girls change clothes in the morning.
Just get out of here.
When Xiaoxi arrived at the company and secretly rejoiced, the new business has been distributed again.
7 robots to be recycled this week.
And illegal recyclers have been taking action recently. I want you to pay attention. Stacy and Ella came to the house of a little boy named Zongtai. Zongtai's parents passed away in an accident. Only he and the robot Martha are left to live together. However, Martha's payback period is coming. The day of parting is coming soon. Xiaoxi was originally worried that Zongtai would make a scene. Unexpectedly, Zongtai actually said, "Martha is a liar. I hate robots the most." Then take the same bunch and sign it. Xiaoxi quickly stopped Zongtai. That wouldn't get him to sign. The long-suppressed Zongtai also expressed his inner thoughts. We clearly agreed to be together forever. As a result, my parents left. Martha will leave sooner or later. These words are lies. Martha was embarrassed. After he told Zongtai about his lifespan, Zongtai has always been like this. With a heavy heart, Xiaoxi returned to the company. This made Xiaoman feel that he had to help. After some deliberation, they decide to rekindle Zongtai's feelings for his family and Martha. Then, I came to Zongtai's house. Pull out those photos that record warm moments. When flipping to a photo of a strawberry cake, immediately recognize that it is what Zong Tai's mother is best at doing. It is also Zong Tai's favorite food. Xiaoxi immediately decided to prepare a birthday party for Zong Tai. Let's make strawberry cake together to evoke Zong Tai's love and memories. The crowd began to get busy. Martha excitedly planned, "Make the room as beautiful as it used to be. Let's celebrate happily together." Although this is the first time doing this, make everyone scramble. But they are all trying. Create a new beautiful memory for Zong Tai. Remember, during this period, Xiaoxi also learned the real reason why Xiaoman offered to help. It turns out that Xiaoman is the same as Zong Tai, also raised by artificial intelligence. He treats artificial intelligence as his father. But when the payback period comes, because he was so reluctant, the father was not collected on time, eventually become a dangerous wanderer, can only be forcibly recycled. This experience made Xiaoxi almost cry. Fortunately, Xiaoman interrupted in time. "I just picked up this Zong Tai to prepare for the birthday party. After a whole day of hard work, everything is finally ready." As night falls, Zong Tai comes home from school. Everyone drilled out together and gave Zong Tai a surprise and pushed him to the table. So angry that Zong Tai called out, "Even if he did this, you have to abandon me in the end." When he was about to go off on the spot, I saw a familiar cake. Remembering the memories of Mom and Dad and Martha, he can no longer deny the warmth of these past. I ate the cake with tears streaming down my face. Martha also revealed her heart to the little one. Even if he leaves, his love will also be by Zong Tai's side.
Bien gereneft. Aha.
But the day before Martha's recycling day, there's an illegal recycler outside the door. Deceived Martha's whereabouts. Then he took Martha's corona away. When little Four and Ella arrive at Zong Tai's house, it turns out that Martha has disappeared, and now he has 24 hours to live. If it is not recycled beyond the deadline, it is very likely to lose control and attack humans frantically. Facing this emergency, Xiaoxi had to confess the truth to Zong Tai and told him he would definitely bring Martha back. At the same time, the recovery unit realized the seriousness of the problem, contacted the rogue recovery unit. Prepare for a violent recovery of Martha, who may be out of control. This means that Martha will not only lose all her memories, will be completely destroyed. I can never go back to Zong Tai. After learning the news, Xiaoman was extremely excited. He was disgusted with the reclaims, because his dad just lost his mind. It was finally forcibly resolved by the recovery army. However, currently only in cooperation with the recovery force. They get access. Enter the cordoned-off area to find Martha. Despite the reluctance, Xiaoman finally compromised. Pretty soon, recycling forces find the den of illegal recyclers. But Martha was not found here. On the contrary, the illegal recycler was beaten miserably, apparently attacked by Martha, who lost her mind. That's it. Only coercive measures can be taken against Martha. End him with a weapon designed to destroy robots. After finding Martha, he has indeed lost his humanity. When he saw Zong Tai coming, the only remaining reason also collapsed in an instant. He immediately grabbed Zong Tai and fled the scene with him. Little Four and Ella try to catch up. Finally found Martha and Zong Tai on the rooftop. Xiaoxi holds the last glimmer of hope, begging Martha to let go of Zong Tai. Accept regular recycling. There is still a chance to come back to Zong Tai. Martha seems to understand. Slowly stretch out your hand, just about to respond to Xiaoxi's request. But at this critical moment, Zong Tai alerted Martha again.
He went berserk. Almost strangled Zong Tai.
To protect Zong Tai, Xiaoxi has no choice. I had to shoot him. It ended Martha's life. He still failed to keep his promise. And that's when Ella collapsed. He was unconscious for 2 days and 2 nights. When I woke up, I happened to see Xiaoxi guarding by his bed. This is the scene. It gave Ella a different kind of feeling. Then he started to pay attention to Xiaoxi's every move. He'd even spill the tea for peeking at him. This is an unusual move. The move quickly attracted the attention of colleagues. I thought Stacy did something to Ella. They all proposed to let Xiaoxi roll up and get out. A big watermelon hiss. This is clearly a precursor to love. To match this pair, Golden Retriever colleagues also decided to help Ella monitor Xiaoxi in real time. Tell him the first step in love is to know everything about the person you love. So Ella started stalking Xiaoxi. From the rooftop to the restaurant, from warehouse to bar, even the bathroom. It's crazy. Fucking said. You are a powerful black spot. Where's my brother laughing? After all this nonsense, Ella can finally go back to Xiaoxi. But Ella wasn't happy. He knows his skills have deteriorated. Worried that returning to Xiaoxi will only be a burden. The boss tells him if he is holding back, only the fourth child has the right to speak. So Ella went back to the dormitory alone, anxiously waiting for Xiaoxi's decision. In the end, I couldn't hold back. Came to the company quietly. Happens to be, I heard my boss talking to Xiaoxi about his partner, and he spoke very bluntly about the situation. Ella has only 1,000 hours left to live. At that time, it gets recycled like any other robot. Then ask Xiaoxi if he wants a new robot, or continue to partner with Ella. Even when Ella outside the door feels desperate. Hear these words. The joy on Ella's face was hard to conceal. He finally understands. You are also worthy of being firmly chosen.
Since that day,
the relationship between Ella and Stacy has undergone a subtle change. Ella began to take care of all the lives of Xiaoxi. He even washed her personal clothes by hand. Facing the rejection of Xiaoxi, Ella is also very persistent. However, due to the deterioration of performance, Ella is getting clumsy. It not only treats important documents as garbage, driving will also take Xiaoxi lost. But what surprised him was, Stacy didn't complain at all. Instead, I sent him an invitation for a Sunday date. This time, Ella finally agreed. And Xiaoxi, because of Ella's response, start working at full capacity. Become the company's small role king. Ella is also training hard. Strive to improve yourself. I'm afraid I can't keep up with Xiaoxi's pace. Ella, after much consideration, finally chose the date location to the amusement park. Come the weekend, Ella donned the clothes her colleagues had chosen for her. The two met early in the morning at the amusement park, but Ella sat on a bench in the corner. He told Xiaoxi, he only needs to look at the happiness of others like this. That's enough. And after listening, Xiaoxi took Ella's hand. Take him into the group of happy people. They worked on a variety of projects together and bought piles of pendants. Ella finally felt the taste of happiness. In the evening, the two got on the Ferris wheel. As the Ferris wheel slowly lifts off, Xiaoxi finally relaxed the tense mood for many days. The sense of exhaustion instantly made him pass out. Wait until Xiaoxi wakes up again. He found himself back in the dormitory. The room is quiet. Only Ella next to him is silently guarding him. Xiaoxi also took the opportunity to express his intention. He wants to be Ella's work partner all the time. Until the last moment. Then he stretched out his hand to AI. The two hands are clasped together. Now there is another fantasy in Xiaoxi's heart. He started asking around. A robot with deleted memories. Is there any possibility of restoring memory? But the replies I got were all absolutely impossible. At the same time, new missions have also been dispatched. The two are going to help capture the escaped robot to connect with employees in other regions. That employee is a black girl. The robot is just when the three of them are discussing the task. The Golden Retriever just walked in. When he saw the black girl, he rushed over excitedly. Now the Golden Retriever colleague seems to realize something. Quickly explained that you have the wrong person. And he ran off. Su Gua family.
and so forth.
At night, the group successfully caught the escaping robot. After the task is completed, Xiaoxi went to find a colleague from Golden Retriever. I want to figure out the ins and outs of things. The Golden Retriever colleague told Xiaoxi. The black girl is a good friend he grew up with, but it was later recycled by the headquarters because the deadline was met. Memories are also replaced. Golden Retriever colleagues always remember him, but now he's not who he used to be. After the last misunderstanding, the Golden Retriever colleague has become good friends with the black girl again. Also mentioned, the fireworks display they went to together before. I didn't expect the black girl to invite him to go with him. Golden Retriever dare not go alone with the black girl. After all, there are memories of the past. He is afraid to face. I had to pull everyone together. And Xiaoxi also wants to take this opportunity, trying to find a way to restore the robot's memory. So he took Ella to the fireworks display. But he paid too much attention to the black girl. Ignore Ella. Make the little girl unhappy. When he wants to hold Ella's hand, Ella was also angry and ignored. But he looked at Xiaoxi's hand. I can't help but want to hold. I finally mustered up the courage to go over, but blocked by the Muppets. And they got separated.
And Xiaoxi finally came to a conclusion.
It seems that the black girl's memory cannot be restored.
Sanmao also said,
I won't let the black girl remember the past anymore. She wants to let go of the past, to create new memories. After hearing this, Xiaoxi suddenly reacted. Ella is gone. At the same time, fireworks are starting to go off. Xiaoxi quickly turned around and looked for it. I couldn't find it after searching in the vast sea of people for a long time. Just when he was about to give up, finally saw Ella in a corner. He was shaking with fear at the sound of fireworks. And that's when Sweets walked over,
holding his hand again.
The two of them enjoyed the beautiful fireworks together. But just as they were immersed in it, Ella suddenly asked Xiaoxi, is it because of him? Confused and painful. If so, then stop being a partner. Xiaoxi couldn't help it anymore. Hugged the poor girl directly. Ella doesn't understand. Why would he do this for himself? However, in the end, Ella dumped him directly. After that, it was like he lost his soul, turned directly into snow-white ash. The senior in the company tried to pull him back, show him the most exciting books. I didn't expect that even this wouldn't interest him. I can only give up helplessly. Little do you know, Ella was just taken aback by the sudden confession. In a hurry, he rejected Xiaoxi. At the suggestion of Xiaoman, C and Ella's cohabitation life is temporarily over. The two of them took this opportunity to think carefully how to deal with this relationship. So Ella moved into the Golden Retriever's room. Now the Golden Retriever finally got his wish. You can change Ella into all kinds of cute looks. At night, Xiaoman called Ella out alone. Ask him directly what he thinks of Xiaoxi. Ella said weakly, Xiaoxi always smiles. That feeling of tenderness, like sunlight. Let him be happy unconsciously. As long as it's about Xiaoxi. He is interested. Of course, Xiaoman knew what this meant. It's what it feels like to be in love. He immediately turned around and wanted to tell Xiaoxi. But Ella stopped him. If so, I can't be with Xiaoxi. Because of him, I have less than a month left to be active. Xiaoman heard the news for the first time. It's hard to accept. He ran outside alone and wept silently. And just then, Xiaoxi happened to see Xiaoman crying alone.
Young men only knew.
It turns out that Xiaoxi already knew about Ella's order, even knowing the truth. By Hum, who decided to sue. Daddy's walls are stuffed with wooden bags before mopping the floor for you. So Xiaomei also decided to help support their love. Until the end, wait for Xiaoxi to come home at night, only to find that his boss was already waiting for him in the room. Then Ella was called in too. The boss gave the order directly. You two are not allowed to form a team anymore. The reason is that the company prohibits office romances. Petty bourgeoisie still wants to argue. But I didn't expect Ella to agree first. Since then, Ella became her boss's new partner. The two worked apart for a long time. Can't even say a word. Xiaoxi and Brother Glasses teamed up for the first time. Although the work is going well, But Stu still can't forget Ella. In conversation with Brother Glasses, Xiaoxi only knew their department recycles differently from other departments. Seems more human. And this is the idea that Ella came up with. Inefficiency is not recognized. But the boss persisted despite the pressure, because that's how he likes Ella. At the same time, the boss also partners with Ella again, the bodyguard responsible for recovering a gangster boss. The mob boss has no other requirements. I only hope that in the last days of the bodyguard, let Ella play with him happily. Ella naturally agreed. However, it also made a request. I hope the underworld boss can also participate together, because being with the person you like is the happiest. After the task is completed, the boss uses this to communicate with Ella again. He deliberately separated the two, just to make Ella understand how important Xiaoxi is to him. As Ella's former partner, he knows very well Ella didn't want to make Stacy sad to part. He took the initiative to separate from Ella. It is also to prevent Ella from having too much contact with herself. Sad when finally separated. But in the years since we separated, Ella is almost no longer effective. The boss realized that he was wrong. If you reject this relationship, that's the saddest ending. So one night, Ella is holding a gift from Xiaoxi in her hand. Remember the little things I spent with him.
Ifael Shoraluktan.
Like him so much. So, I don't want to give up yet. He finally made up his mind. The next morning, I summoned up the courage to come to Xiaoxi. Put yourself in a long, suppressed mood. Told him, without reservation, Ella and Stacy are finally lovers. After falling in love, the atmosphere of life has become more subtle than before. It's also warmer. Just looking at each other will make you blush. Keep looking for topics to relieve embarrassment. I don't even dare to hold hands when I go out. He was caught by his colleagues, showing love in broad daylight. The senior also quietly told the two young men, couples want to increase their relationship. The most important thing is to prepare surprises for each other. The two people who are in love for the first time are secretly preparing. Older uncle suggests that Ella cook a meal for her boyfriend. And Stevens is asking around how to surprise your girlfriend. It's a pity that his colleagues are all straight men. In desperation, Xiaoxi had to find a way on his own. His distressed appearance is seen by customers. And I gave him a hint. After get off work, Xiaoxi and Ella went to buy vanilla together. We picked out couples' pajamas together. The two walked side by side on their way home. There is sweetness in the air. They look at the bright lights in the distance. There seem to be countless happy people hidden in that light. This moment, Ella and Stacy are one of those happy people. And I went home. They made omelette together, although the rice made looks average. But it's these little imperfect moments. Let people feel the truest happiness. After taking a shower, Stacy sees Ella writing in her diary again. He was curious to see what was written. Ella shyly lit up. But no one thought. Ella, who was sleeping downstairs, suddenly had a nightmare. I scared the little girl into crying. Straight upstairs. You have to sleep in the arms of Xiaoxi. Both understand. Ella's time is running out. They tacitly chose not to bring up the topic. Just try harder to enjoy every moment. Colleagues also know about Ella's situation, sending all kinds of gifts, even offer to share the work with them, just to allow the two of them to spend more time together. Generosity is hard. Stacy and Ella can only take advantage of the vacation. I went to watch a love movie with a movie ticket given by my colleague. After, Ella also wants Xiaoxi to be like the male protagonist of the movie. Lie on your lap, although very warm, but in Ella's forced smile, Xiaoxi still saw his confusion and pain. It turns out that Ella also understands the feelings of her colleagues. But compared to this, he would rather be with Stacy as usual. That's enough. So the two went back to the company. Work as usual. Then the boss called Xiaoxi alone, handed Ella's recycling consent form to him. Stevens has to face reality. But in order not to make Ella sad, he tried his best to suppress the sadness in his heart. Start learning how Ella takes care of the garden, and the skill of making tea. He wants to remember everything about Ella. Xiaoman naturally doesn't want to see. They waste their time on it. However, I learned that it was the decision of the two of them.
Didn't say anything.
Finally, Xiaoxi took out the recycling consent form. Ella only has a week left. For him, having Xiaoxi sign for him is already the greatest happiness. This makes Xiaoxi extremely painful. Just signing his name drained him of all his strength. And in the final moments, there is only one thing left to do: recycling the gangster's robot. Anna, when they go back, Xiaoxi was suddenly very curious. Allah says a word every time he recycles a robot.
What are you talking about?
And I went home. They both understood. Tomorrow is the last day. And they talked all night long. This is also the last sunrise that Xiaoxi wants to see. They cleaned up the house together. Take a shower together for the last time. The last time we went out together. The two arrived at the company in advance. The office is empty. Allah left a farewell letter to every colleague. Unexpectedly, he was caught by his boss. Can't get them to work today. After driving the two away, colleagues who were afraid to say goodbye breathed a sigh of relief. Then, the two of them went to the amusement park together. They ate new flavors of dim sum, admired the vast sea of stars, went to the mysterious forest, and brought Ella to her favorite big doll bear. Give him a big hug, realizing that the joy of twilight belongs to Ella. However, Xiaoxi felt extremely lonely. They both realized the final outcome, but tacitly don't mention it. Just do your best to enjoy every second. But it's closing time. When you hear the announcement of the closing ceremony, the two were silent for a long time. They didn't want to leave. Just then, Ella pulls Xiaoxi to the Ferris wheel. After consulting with security, they can do it again, the last time. As the Ferris wheel slowly rises, Xiaoxi can no longer suppress the sadness in his heart. Tears can't stop flowing. Ella gently wiped away his tears. Pinch out a smiley face that is uglier than crying with your hands. Stacy finally laughed, wearing a ring for the person I love the most. After the Ferris wheel stops, Xiaoxi carried the sleeping Ella to the boss. He couldn't help but cry. Everyone has also read the letter left by Ella. The cute girl who was cold outside and hot inside finally left. Life is rare to get together. Only leave more. Happily, there is suspense at the end of the story. Xiaoxi has become a mature and reliable veteran employee. And he's also getting a new partner. Plastic memory is over. I have to. It's a movie about highly intelligent, bionic humans. Discussed about memory. Profound animations of love and death. The nature of tragedy. It's about destroying beautiful things for the audience to see. Although Ella's end could have been foreseen from the beginning, but it doesn't affect the emotional tension of the plot. On the contrary, it is this premonition that is about to be lost. Endowed every moment between them. Special meaning. While we feel sorry for Ella, I can't help but reflect. How should one respond to death? Humans themselves. Why not? What about artificial life with decades of life? What do you guys think about this? You can also leave your comments in the comment area. Finally, remember to help Sparkling Stories YouTube channels follow and like it.
See you next time.